Guten Tag, herzlich willkommen. Ich heiße Nancy Tulin und ich bin die Professorin für diesen Kurs. Ich komme aus Kalifornien, aber ich habe lange in Deutschland gewohnt und studiert. Ich bin 48 Jahre alt und ich wohne in Escondido. Und jetzt auf Englisch. I'm guessing you could understand a little of what I just said because German and English are really quite similar in vocabulary. But no worries, this class is meant for absolute beginners and you don't have to know any German to succeed right away. The rest of this video and all instructions and explanations as we begin our work together will be in English. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to our class and show you what you need to do to be successful. I will provide weekly videos to teach you important grammar and vocabulary topics. I've been teaching in person for around 25 years and online for the last 5 years. So I am pretty well versed at this, but there are always new things to learn. So please feel free to help me with your suggestions. I will give you everything you need to succeed, links to videos, handouts, explanations, and of course lots of practice exercises and assignments. You'll be able to contact me either by email or Canvas message, or even using a teleconference if necessary, as often as you need to. But one word of warning is that you need to reach out to me if you're having questions or difficulties. You're kind of invisible to me when you're just working along, doing your assignments and learning. That's great. I love it when you can just do that. But if you do have questions, please reach out. If I don't hear from you, that's fine. I'll assume everything is okay. So a couple pointers about our course. This is an online-only course, which means we will never meet in person. There's also no one assigned time that we will ever meet together online. I don't have an office on the Saddleback campus, and we do only do things asynchronously, which means you're working and I'm working, but we're not necessarily working at the same time together. There are, however, weekly deadlines, and you have to keep up with the class assignments and with the amount of time that you need to set aside for each week's work. So you will need to be responsible for your pacing. Our deadlines are always on Sunday nights every week. So make sure that you're able to put aside enough time in this class. I do want to mention again that this is a 5-unit class. That's the highest level class, highest time investment that you can take in college. So it is a lot of time investment on your part. Learning a language takes practice and time and repetition. You need to be sure that you are setting aside around 10 hours per week, every week throughout the semester, to devote to learning and assignments in this class. Remember that that's not much different than if you were taking the class in person. In person, you would be meeting in a classroom for 5 hours a week, and of course you would have extra time outside of class, 5 hours or more a week, to do your homework and other assignments. So just because it's an online class doesn't mean it's any less time. Please make sure that you have the time in your schedule. I've taught this class for 5 years now online, and most students do fantastic at learning German and succeeding in their goals. The only students who really don't succeed are those who don't set aside enough time. It's not a matter of difficulty, but it is a matter of time to learn the language. So in a few moments, I'll talk you through our textbook website and our Canvas course website. I do just want to mention right away about our textbook. Our textbook is called Deutsch na klar, 8th edition. Do make sure that you're getting the 8th edition. I will give you pointers as to how to get to the right links to order it. The cheapest price available, we have negotiated with the publisher directly, and you can get this textbook online for $150. That comes with the access code that you absolutely need in order to do the homework and even the chapter tests in our course. Unfortunately, there's no way to participate in this course without spending the $150 for the textbook access. If you've already bought your textbook, for example, from the Saddleback bookstore, that's great. You can get started right away. If you haven't bought it, don't panic. There are full instructions as we begin our course in the first week's module that tell you where to go to purchase it. It's an immediate purchase. You can get started right away. We don't recommend that you purchase the textbook from any other source other than the textbook publisher or the Saddleback bookstore. The reason for that is that online retailers, even Amazon, but certainly used bookstores online, do not offer the access code, which is what you need to participate in this class online. So please follow the instructions, purchase the textbook from the links we provide, and you'll be just fine. I know the $150 may sound like a lot, but I do want to point out that that textbook, that $150 access, covers both semesters of German 1 and German 2. So if you go on to German 2 in an upcoming semester, you won't have to purchase any material at that point. Your textbook access will still be valid. In fact, it is valid for 2 years, so you'll be able to continue with German without spending anything further. I also want to mention about financial aid because I know that many students have difficulty putting out the $150 in the first week of the semester when you have all these other expenses and you're waiting on your financial aid. There is a 14-day free trial offer from the publisher website. 14-day courtesy access, they call it, and that will give you everything you need to get started in our class. So you can start this class right away without paying the $150. Spend the first 2 weeks, make sure that you're in the place you want to be and that you're ready to continue with the class. Then when that 2-week trial is up, you will simply enter a credit card or PayPal information and it will convert over to a regular paid account very seamlessly. You won't lose any work. So there's no reason to delay in getting started in the class. You can start with the free trial or courtesy access, as they call it. And when you're ready within that first 2 weeks, you'll be able to convert that for $150 to the paid account. So it's now time to look at our Canvas course page and also our textbook website. So I will switch to a shared screen view so that you can see what we're looking at. To begin with, I'd like to show you how to start on our Canvas webpage, which is where everything you need for our class will be made available to you. When you're on the main Saddleback campus homepage, simply click on the button called Canvas right here up at the top. You will need to log in with your student information there, and once you log in, you will see a number of what they call course cards. For every course that you're enrolled in, you'll find a picture button here. You'll notice that our course, Deutsch 1 or German 1, is right there available to you. You will probably also see a German 901, which is our lab section. That does not show for me, but you will be able to see that as well. I will talk about the lab section in a few moments. So to enter our course web pages, you simply want to click on the course card there. And this is what you will see when you enter our course pages. You'll notice that I have some information at the top about when we start. The most important right away to get started for you is the orientation to class button. I strongly recommend that you walk through the orientation module. It's only about 8 short pages of information you'll want to know as we begin our class. I'm not going to walk you through that in this video because it's self-explanatory, but what you should do is click on the orientation to class and you'll be able to learn some important information. Normally, when you begin our course for each week throughout the week, you'll notice that we've laid out the weekly buttons. And I have the dates here to remind you of which week we're working on. There are a few other things on the main page I'd just like to point out. If you scroll down past the weekly buttons, you'll find information about our textbook, our discussion boards, which make an important part of the class, information about the requirements for the German 901 lab section, how to reach me for consultation hours. I have many other useful websites for you. I have music videos. I have a link explaining how to see your grades in the class. And then, of course, I have my contact information. So again, this is our main course page, and there will always be these weekly buttons there for you. When you start week 1, after you have completed the orientation module, you'll click on the week 1 button and it will take you to our first checklist for the work you need to complete in the first week of class by the end of the first week. So you always do have assignments due on Sunday nights by midnight. Technically 11:59 is the deadline because we have to set it 1 minute before midnight. Now, I don't want to scare you off. This is a long checklist of many different things. Some of them only take you 30 seconds. Some of them take you half an hour. So, it depends. There are different size steps to each of these. You'll notice orientation module is the first step. Then if you go to step 2, after you've completed the orientation module, you will need to sign up for a phone interview with me. There is a sign-up sheet on the next page. Every time you want to walk through our Canvas pages here with all the explanations, there are always buttons at the bottom that say previous, usually you won't want to go back, or next, which is the most important, and you'll want to move through the pages sequentially. So you will see our sign-up sheet. You're going to type in your name at the time you want to call me. Sign up for a time there. I have times set aside for you pretty much all week up until Sunday at many different times throughout the day. So simply enter your name and type your name and hit return, and that will reserve that time for you. After you've signed up for an introductory interview, read some other information about how to set your email and your notification options. All of this is still just explanatory for you. Move on to the next page. You'll notice you need to submit a short written introduction in English this week. We're not asking you to do German right away, so you're going to introduce yourself to the class. No problem there. That's sort of normal behavior as we begin our class. There will also be a worksheet. It's not really a worksheet, it's a questionnaire that I would like you to fill out. Let me explain, because you are going to be filling out a number of worksheets throughout the semester. This is the first of your worksheets, and it's just a questionnaire about you and your background and any exposure you might have to German. What you need to do in order to fill out this questionnaire, I give you the same questionnaire in 3 different formats. You can choose to use Microsoft Office, which would also work with Google Docs, and it would also work with OpenOffice. If you use a Mac or Apple computer, you can use the Pages file, or if you prefer to type directly into a PDF, you can do that. So I will open the PDF file just to show you what I'm talking about. It downloads to my computer. I open it up, and I can fill out this questionnaire, basically, asking some basic information about me. You can type into these fields, etc. So you're going to save that document, and once you have saved it to your computer, you're going to say, oh, I need to submit that assignment. Simply click on Submit, and it jumps you down here where it says File Upload. You're going to choose the file you just saved. You're going to find it on your desktop or wherever you put it, and you're going to upload it, and you're going to say Choose File, and then Submit. And you'll get a successfully submitted screen after you do that. If you prefer, you can use some of these other possibilities, Google Drive, etc., but really the easiest is to submit directly from your computer and then choose Submit the Assignment. So we're not going to submit that assignment now. We're going to move on. This is what many of you have been wanting to see, and one of the most important steps in the first week's work. Step 6 says enroll on the Connect textbook website. And here is where we show you how to activate and purchase your textbook, which is required for the class. Again, we're talking about the textbook Deutsch na klar 8th edition, and it will cost $150 as a minimum. That is the lowest price we can find directly with the publisher. You may also purchase it from the campus bookstore. That is fine. It's the same package. You actually get a hardcover or loose leaf copy if you purchase it there as well. You do not need a paper copy of the textbook because the online access that you're purchasing for $150 comes with a full e-text, meaning you're going to read the textbook and even listen to the audio of the textbook on the screen in a web browser. And that's really the easiest way for most students. If for some reason you want a paper copy of the textbook, that's optional and up to you. What is absolutely required is the $150 purchase to access the textbook website and all of the exercises and chapter tests that are contained at the textbook website. I've already mentioned to you that there is a free trial, a 14-day free trial that will get you started right away in the class. So feel free to use that free trial. It doesn't hurt in any way. It's exactly the same material that you would get if you were actually paying. Eventually, after the 2 weeks, you will have to pay that $150 to continue your work, but it rolls over very seamlessly. So what we're going to do is show you how to purchase the textbook. You're going to click this link I've given you right here, the following link, which will open in a new tab, and we're going to click that. What you see once you've clicked that McGraw-Hill link will be something like this. It won't be exactly, because this is the teacher's side of things. But the most important and really only thing you need on this page will somewhere on this page say, go to My Connect section. Go to My Connect section is what you need to click in order to basically activate your purchase of the textbook and your enrollment in our particular section on the textbook website. So go ahead and click the Go to My Connect section, and you will get a new screen that pops up. When you click the Go to My Connect section button, you will get a page that looks very similar to this. You may see a warning if you are very early before the semester starts about the class not being open or available yet. You will need to wait until the Friday before the semester starts to actually begin this step. But once it's past August 14th, you will see a screen like this, and it will say enter your email to join this class. You can use, it's best to use your Saddleback email, but you can use any email that you prefer. Doesn't matter to me what email you use. I like to use the Saddleback email just because it keeps things easy for you. And you're going to say begin. You have a Connect account, great, you can enter the password. If you don't have a Connect account, it will then walk you through the process of activating and starting a Connect account. Let's actually use a different email address and show you that. So if you do not already have a Connect account, a McGraw-Hill Connect account, it will ask you to create one. It'll ask you all this information, normal for that. You'll want to choose Saddleback College. I teach at 2 different colleges. Those will both show up for you. Saddleback is, of course, where we're talking about. You will then continue. And at this point, I am not going to show you every other step because I would have to start paying for the textbook or activating a free trial. But basically, it will give you the option to purchase the textbook, or to start your free trial, or to enter the 20-digit access code if you purchased your textbook at the Saddleback campus bookstore. If you got a textbook package already and inside of it is a little cardboard thing that has a 20-digit code on it, then this site will give you the option to enter that code, showing that you've already purchased the textbook and begin your access to the textbook there. So again, once you have created your McGraw-Hill account, you're going to click continue. You will then have the choice of either purchasing the textbook for $150 with a credit card or PayPal, starting the 14-day free trial, which is a courtesy access. After 14 days, you will then need to enter your credit card information and pay that $150 to continue, or entering the access code. If you've already bought your textbook and have a 20-digit access code, then you can simply activate and join our course right away. So I know that's a confusing step for many people. Please don't panic. It is very straightforward. What you just follow the instructions that are there on the textbook website for you. Once you've completed that, I want to show you what you will end up with looking at our textbook website. Once you have successfully activated your textbook access, either by paying for it or by starting the free trial, you will land on a page at the textbook website that looks something like this. You'll notice a few important things. The first is that we have folders of assignments. Now, you will at times need to look inside these folders. However, remember that we have our Canvas pages. Our Canvas pages give you all the information that you need, and I will show you how much information you can find on Canvas. It will simply, the Canvas page will direct you to go here once in a while to complete an exercise with full instructions. There are also, the most important thing over on the textbook website is the textbook itself in ebook format. You'll notice right here it says read. You simply click on that. It will open another new window. And I've already been reading the textbook, so it will probably pop me open. No, it does pop open at page 1. And you can navigate from there. Now, you can certainly enter a page number. Let's say we want to look at page 25. I don't even know what's on page 25, but we'll look there. Oh. you can jump directly to page 25. And you'll notice that, hey, here is our first chapter. It's a dialogue in our first chapter that they're showing you many different things. There is a play button so that you will hear the dialogue and you will be able to read along with it. And then, of course, there's some new words that you'll need to learn. And then there are other dialogues, etc. So you see that you can scroll through this textbook, and most important is to play. So you hear the pronunciation of all these different words on the textbook website. It is quite easy to use. The only warning is it's a little hard to navigate. You're going to have to use the search bar to enter the page that you're looking for. Or if you don't use the search bar, you can open the table of contents. And you'll notice here by clicking on those three dots there, we've got a table of contents. We can see all these different things. Now, normally, I'll be just directing you to a particular page to read, and you'll just jump directly to that page. But if you are reading on your own or browsing through information, you can certainly use the table of contents to jump to whatever sections you need here, where you'll find your grammar information and many different things. So again, this is what you get with your $150 purchase, is not only the access to the textbook in ebook format, but also access to our exercises, which make up a big portion of your grade in our class. So the only other thing to show you is how to complete an exercise. So let's take a look at that for a moment. Let's say you're assigned to do the exercise formal and informal you. Notice that it's called homework there. You'll simply open that and select begin. And again, it will pretty much do everything for you. It says, yes, we want to continue. This has 30 points, etc. We're going to continue that. And here's an exercise. You're going to play a dialogue. You're going to select whether they're talking about formal or informal. And when you're done selecting those, you'll click on next at the bottom. You'll choose some different answers there, etc. You'll choose whatever you need, and you'll click on next until you're done. Once you're done with that exercise, you need to click up here in the top right. You absolutely have to click the submit button. I have 3 incomplete questions, but I'm going to submit anyway. And it will give me my score when I'm done. It says, hey, you didn't score any points because you didn't answer most of the questions. But it will show you essentially what you scored and where you might go wrong. When you're completing exercises on the textbook website, if they're regular homework assignments, not a chapter test, if it's a regular homework assignment, you can redo that exercise as many times as you want to improve your score. So you know what? I didn't like my score right then. I'm going to go back and I'm going to say exit, and I'm going to go back to the assignment and I'm going to start it again because I really didn't like that score. I just begin it one more time. I start it again. And I answer the questions correctly this time, right? And then I click submit, and it will give me a much better score when and that is the score that will be saved in the gradebook and that you will get credit for. So feel free to work through these exercises as many times as you need to until you're happy with your score. Again, you can press submit, or you need to press submit when you're done in order to get credit for your work. If you press save and exit, that's basically a way for you to pause your work. It will save the answers that you've already done and it will exit from the screen, but it's not completed and submitted at that point. You have to press submit in order to get your score and get credit for your work. I am going to press save and exit because I'd like to get out of that for now. So you'll have many different assignments over the course of a week. Here's the week 1 assignments, etc. We have 16 weeks in the semester, so you'll notice that there are 16 folders there. That's pretty much all you need to know about the textbook website. It is an important part of our class. It's pretty easy to use. You shouldn't have any difficulties with it, but I am here if you need me to explain anything further. I also give you lots of instructions as you're starting your work on our Canvas webpage. There will be instructions there. So I've shown you the textbook, and that is about a quarter or maybe a third of what we do in class. But the other majorly important steps occur back on our Canvas pages. So let's move back to the Canvas pages and talk through some other things that we will be doing together in class as we work through the semester. So we're back on our Canvas page, and we've completed this step about enroll on the textbook website. Once you have completed it, it's a good idea for you to select Mark as Done at the top. That doesn't give you any points, and in fact, I can't even really see that you have marked it as done. It's really for your benefit. So you say, hey, I know I did this step already. I can check it off the checklist and have it completed. When you're done with enrolling on the textbook, you simply move on to the next step. And it says now you're going to complete your first textbook assignment. And I give you instructions that basically walk you through what we just did on the textbook website. It says you're going to go to the Connect website and you're going to expand the week 1 folder and click on that introduction. Alternately, if you prefer, you can simply use the Canvas page to click on Next, and notice what will happen. It will bring up a big button that says Launch, and when you click that, it will take you right over to that exercise on the textbook website, and it will start it for you. So quite honestly, the easiest way is to simply launch it from our Canvas page. That's a direct link that will take you right to the exercise, and you don't even have to worry about navigating all those different folders. So everything is laid out very clearly for you. That will launch that exercise we were just doing. You will then click Submit when you're done with it on that page, and then you will come back to our Canvas page, and you'll move on to the next one. Here we have my instructor video for the first week, which covers a lot of different information. You have to start learning German right away in the first week. So you have your information about greetings and farewells and casual du and formal Sie and the alphabet and things like that. You're going to watch this video, watch it at your own pace, pause it, take notes, come back, rewind, whatever you want to do with that. Watch the video to learn the information, and then simply continue walking through our Canvas pages. At some points throughout the week, you will be assigned some reading from the textbook website. To accompany every reading assignment I have made, in addition to what you're reading on the textbook website, I've made a reading guide for you that says, hey, here's what you're going to see on this page, and here's what you're going to see on this page, and you better notice these particular things. These reading guides, I think, are very helpful, especially for beginners, because you want to be knowing what you need to be on the lookout for as you're reading the textbook. So you're just going to read the textbook as it explains here. You're going to follow along with my reading guide. When you're done with the reading, you will then be assigned another exercise, and you will go to the textbook website again using that launch button that comes up. You're going to go launch another exercise, and so on. You basically walk through the entire week by just clicking Next on the Canvas website. Let's say you've done enough for one day and you want to take a break. You're closing out your windows. You come back later the next day. One easy way to get to where you last stopped is to click on the modules link over here on our Canvas page. You'll see all the different steps that you have just been going through. And it says, yeah, you must complete all of these items. If you recall, I marked done on that enroll on the textbook website. And so it's showing me, hey, you completed that step. I've got a green check mark there already. I also completed the Introduction to Connect assignment, but I didn't mark done that I had watched the video, so that's still waiting for me. These check marks here along the right-hand side of the modules list are a good way for you to keep track of your performance. They do not factor into your grade. I don't really even see what you have checked off and what you haven't. It's just your way of keeping track. That's how far I got in the week, and that's where I'm going to pick up again. So we continue on through the modules. Many of them are the same types of things. You're going to be learning the German alphabet and so on. Then we get to two other things I'd like to talk about. Speaking practice assignments. You'll have these almost every week. You will need to record your voice using either your computer or your cell phone, and there are full instructions here about how to do that. And you're going to post a recording of yourself saying something similar. You're going to use these phrases that we've been learning. You're going to post a recording just like I have done here. Very simple, very straightforward. And then you're going to complete a worksheet. Now, I already showed you how to submit a worksheet assignment. So that would be the same idea. You would download the worksheet. You would open it up and fill it out, fill out all these answers here. It's just a reminder of all the things we've learned this week. And when you're done, you save that, you come back to this, you submit the assignment, you upload it to Canvas, and you get the points and credit for it. That should be pretty straightforward. The only other thing we need to talk about is your lab section, the German 901 lab section. So at the end of every week's modules, there is an assignment called lab exercises for that week. And these lab exercises are what's giving you credit in terms of time spent on them for the lab section that you have enrolled in. Let me go back to our homepage for a second and show you the explanation of our lab section. Here, if we click on lab section requirements, it talks you through what the requirements are to earn a passing grade in the lab section. German 901 is a half unit separate section from this class, but you don't have to do any additional work other than what is assigned to you on our regular pages. What you're going to do in order to pass the half credit German 901 lab section is to complete 24 hours of time online at our textbook website. Remember when we're over here working on things? So that's why we assign the lab exercises. Those lab exercises are going to take a fair amount of our time. 24 hours of online time over the course of the entire semester means approximately 1.5 hours per week. Sometimes some students will have much more than that. Some students will have less than that. So you need to I'll show you how to keep an eye on your time, but you'll need to have 24 hours of time over the course of the semester. If in the first week you only put in 45 minutes, that's okay. You're going to make up for it in a future week, right? We're not tracking your weekly time. We're tracking your total time by the end of the semester. So when you do your lab exercises over at the textbook, it's going to be tallying up the amount of time that you're spending. And you'll be able to see the amount of time you've spent. I will send you updates from time to time. And as long as you reach that 24-hour requirement by the end of the semester, you will get a passing grade in the lab section. Your scores, on the other hand, let's say you scored 30% on an exercise, that's going to factor into your course grade for our regular 5-credit German 1 class. It's just the time that you spend on the Connect website that factors into your lab grade. Now, as I said before, some students are going to spend more than 24 hours. Many students are going to spend about that much time, and some students are going to spend less than 24 hours. Because we don't know exactly how much time you'll be spending, we allow you to watch German movies in order to add to your lab time. No matter what happens, you have to reach 12 hours of time on the Connect Lab website. But if you only reach 12 hours, you can add another 12 hours to that time by watching and writing movie reviews. You don't have to write them in German, but the movie has to be German. So unfortunately, I don't control the lab section. That is controlled by our department chair, Carmen Hernandez Bravo, and you can certainly contact her with any questions. The basic idea here is that you're going to watch any German movie that you want to. You're going to write up a summary in English or a commentary about that movie, and you're going to turn that in, and you're going to turn that in not to me, not to our Canvas page, but to the other Canvas page on your dashboard. There'll be a German 901 page where you turn in your movie reviews. I've linked here a lot of different sources where you can find German movies, either for free on YouTube, or if you have a Netflix or Amazon Prime account, you can use those. There's also an excellent service that we have through partnership with IVC called Canopy, which is a free streaming movie site. You have to log in with your student ID, but you can watch these movies on Canopy. I recommend that you plan to watch around 2 German movies for the semester because it's pretty likely that you're going to reach more than 12 hours of time on the Connect site. But it's not entirely assured that you will reach 24 hours, which is why the 2 German movie reviews is the sort of safe way to go here. You need to watch out for the deadlines. Please check the dashboard and check the German 901 page for any deadlines that they set. I do not control the lab section deadlines or anything to do with the movie reviews. All I'm doing is pointing it out to you that that's how it works. But the actual submissions go to Professor Hernandez Bravo, and she takes care of giving you that credit in time for the movie reviews. Again, it's a little confusing, I freely admit that, but all you have to really worry about is watch your time on the Connect website. I will send you at least twice a month and probably every week right at first. I will send you an update so you know how much time you've spent there. You will also be able to check your lab time over on our Textbook Connect website. There's a button here, this little graph looking thing, that says results. Now, because I'm not really a student, I'm a teacher, it doesn't show me that. But once you click on that results button, if you were really a student, you would get information here about how much time you've spent and about what scores you've gotten on things. Unfortunately, I can't show that to you, but again, you would find it from the results button over here on the Connect website. That is about it. Once you've finished your lab exercises for the week, you are basically done with our checklist. You notice there's only a couple things. In our first week, of course, you would still need to complete your telephone introductory interview, and then you would end up at the final pages here, the optional videos and web links. Let's say that you've been working on things, but you're not entirely confident, even with all the work you've been doing on the textbook website. I give you a lot of extra links. You can practice yourself. These are various pages around the internet, not made by me. These are just external sites. You can watch YouTube videos if you're interested in learning more about greetings and farewells. I even link some fun videos for you, etc. I always, for every week of the semester, give you a list here, many different tabs of different websites you can visit. They're always at the end of the checklist for the week. So if you're ever stuck on something, you're working through something, you say, hey, maybe I should check those optional links. Maybe that'll explain it better than I'm getting through the textbook. Please feel free to do that. Most students don't need to be honest. I give you many explanations through my videos, and the textbook website exercises are very helpful. But if you do get stuck, that's a great place to look first. I also give you some extra handouts and some Quizlet flashcard links if you want to practice, many other things. So please feel free to look around. When you've completed your work for the week, you will get a big congratulations, you've completed your work for the week, and then you can take a break or you can move right on ahead. I believe that wraps up our orientation. There are many other things you will encounter as you're going through our Canvas web pages. What I want to remind you is that you should feel free to click around and just do what it says. When you click on week 1, there will be instructions for you. When you click the next button, there will be more instructions for you, and so on. I have made this class as clear as possible. I want to hear from you if you have questions, but quite honestly, I often don't hear from many students a lot. I obviously will be in contact with you, but you don't have to reach out to me unless you're having problems. I hope that makes sense. I hope you've understood how the course works. And if you do have questions, please get in touch with me. You can always email me from that link right on our main Canvas page. You can also find my other contact information there. I give you my cell phone number, my other email addresses, explain when I'm available, etc. So please feel free to reach out if you have questions. Otherwise, what the best thing you can do right now, complete that orientation on our main page, and after you're done with the orientation, start the week 1 work. You do have about 10 hours of work ahead of you for the first week and for every week thereafter. So remember that the deadlines are Sunday nights at midnight, and make sure to plan out your time. When you look at that checklist and you see, hey, there's 21 steps I need to complete by Sunday night, you need to set aside that time and be able to do that. So, good luck to you as we begin our class, and again, reach out if you have any questions. I hope that's been a successful orientation for you. I know there is a lot to take in. The first week of any online class can be quite intimidating. My advice to you is to jump right in. Don't wait and don't be afraid. It's not as hard as it looks, and I give you everything you need to be successful in the class. Simply follow the checklist, follow the buttons and the instructions on our Canvas course pages, and you will have a great first week and a great first semester. Please reach out to me by email if you have any questions whatsoever. We can always arrange a teleconference or anything else that you want to talk about, but it's best to send me an email first. Good luck as you begin your semester. Viel Glück und viel Spaß für die erste Woche. Auf Wiedersehen!